What is up? Welcome back to another video on this channel. This video is going to be the Premier League prediction video. So let's just get straight into the predictions at number 20. So at number 20, I have gone for Huddersfield. My reasoning for Huddersfield is they finished 5th in the Championship last season. They got promoted with a minus goal difference. Like, that is huge. Championship, if you're getting a minus goal difference, you're going to really struggle in the Premier League. They've brought in a lot of players, to be fair to them, but I just can't see any game changers there, apart from maybe Tom Ince. Tom Ince is the only player in there I can see maybe making a difference into the team. But apart from that, I just don't see anything but bottom of the league for them. So moving on to 19th, we have Swansea City. The reason I've gone for Swansea is that last season they finished 15th, but I think the only reason they managed to get to 15th is because of those vital goals from Sigurdsson, and I just don't see him being there much longer. So that is why I've gone 19th, because I feel like they will lose him, and they will just go downhill from there. If they keep hold of him, I think they'll stay up, but I just can't see them keeping hold of him. On to 18th, we have Brighton. Finished second in the Championship last season, just on the last game of the season, they finished second. Newcastle just nicked it from them. But the reason I've gone for these is just because I just don't see them staying up. Personally, I don't think they're that good of a team. Like, I'm sorry to any Brighton fans out there, but compared to the rest of the talent in the Premier League, I just don't think you can match it. So that is why I have you in 18th place. Now we move on to 17th, which I have Watford, which they finished 17th last season as well. And I think they'll do exactly the same this season. I think they will just about hold on. And in 16th place, we have Crystal Palace. They bought in Ruben Loftus-Cheek, which isn't a bad player on loan, but I don't think it's enough to push them up the table to more 10th. They've also lost Big Sam, who is massive to bringing them to the top 10, but he's gone. And I just don't really see much for them. I think it's going to be a very boring season for them. I don't think they're going to be bad enough to be relegated, but I don't expect much glory for them or their fans. So, sorry, Palace fans. On to 15th, I have Burnley jumping one position up the table from what they did last season. Bringing in John Walters, in my opinion, that is a very good signing. He scores goals. Maybe he doesn't score all the time, but he will pick up some goals for you. And I think his goals this season will get Burnley away from that relegation zone. I'm expecting a very poor season from West Brom this season. They finished 10th last season, but I think they're going to slip up 4 places into 14th. They bought in Jay Rodriguez, which isn't a bad signing, but I don't think they're going to do well this season. I think 14th is probably a fair result for them. I don't think they're going to be relegation candidates at all, but not a top 10 finish this season. I think it's way past them. And into 13th, we have Stoke City. They've bought in Darren Fletcher from West Brom, which will be a solid centre mid for him, I think. But the main one for Stoke is Kurt Zouma on loan. A young lad. He's definitely a first team starter for them. And he's got so much potential to be something special, I think, in my opinion. Kurt Zouma is one for the future. But overall, I don't think he will get him a top 10 finish. So for me, it's 13th. Finishing 9th last season, but this season I feel like Bournemouth are looking more 12th. Even though they've bought in some very good signings like Begovic, Jermaine Defoe and Nathan Ake, I just feel like this is going to be the season where we start seeing Bournemouth drop down the table. And I think next season it'll get worse, and the season after, who knows, maybe Championship's calling. Even though they looked really good last season, but I've just got a feeling Bournemouth are going to start declining. Now on to the Championship champions, Newcastle United. The big player for them is Christian Atsu. He was there last season, but he's permanently there now. I feel like he will be a game changer for them in the Premier League. His pace will come in handy a lot on those counter-attacks. But the thing with Newcastle, they've not bought too many big names in. I think they need to bring more in. But even though they've still got the same team basically they got relegated with, I don't know, I think we're going to see some big things from Newcastle. I think Rafa Benitez is going to turn them into a top 10 team eventually. and then maybe even top 8, top 6. I'm not sure, but I'm expecting big things to come from Newcastle. Now we hit the top 10. In 10th, I have Leicester City. Finished 12th last season. I think they're going to improve by 2 positions. A big signing for them is Harry Maguire from Hull City. I feel like they need to strengthen their centre-backs, as Wes Morgan, Robert Hoof, I think, are just too slow. And they're just not, I don't know, athletic enough in my opinion. They get turned so easily that it takes them a whole year just to turn. So I think Maguire is a very, very good signing for him. And I feel like Vardy will step up again this season. I don't think Mahrez will shine too much, but I think Vardy will be like he was in that title season for Leicester City. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see, I guess. But mark my words, Leicester City, top 10 this season, you watch. Into 9th, I have Southampton. They've not really brought in any big players, in my opinion. That's why I have them dropping down from 8th last season to 9th this season. But overall, I still think they've got a solid team to be able to stick top 10. Now, on to 8th. I think this might come as a surprise to a lot of people, because I don't think many people will have West Ham finishing 8th. They finished 11th last season, but I think they're going to up that position by 3 positions. Just mainly down to Pablo Zabaleta. I think he's a very experienced and very good right back still. Joe Hart isn't, in my opinion, amazing. I think he's better than anything Man City's currently got. I don't know why they're getting rid of him, or loaning him out, shall we say. But he still makes big saves, and I think that will help West Ham loads this season. And then especially, I love this person, Xavier Hernandez, Chicharito, Little P, whatever you want to call him. Being a Man United supporter, the day he went, I was so sad. He's just one of those guys you can't hate. But I think he'll bang a lot of goals in front of the season. I just hope he doesn't score past Man United on the first day of the season, or first game of the season, shall I say. Now we move on to 7th place, where I have Everton finishing again for the 2nd year. Everton have bought in so many players. One being the mighty Wayne Rooney, who I don't think is the player he used to be, but he's still a leader and can still motivate the rest of that team. Next being the youth keeper from, I don't know why I said that very weirdly, the youth keeper from Sunderland, Jordan Pickford, who had a brilliant season last year. Even though they got relegated, he was their star player in my opinion. Michael Keane from Burnley, solid last season. They've done wonders to bring him. I think he'll do exceptional for him. And Davy Klaassen, I believe from Ajax, is a very, very gifted, I believe, centre mid. But personally, I think, even though Everton, I think, will have a good season, I think the top 6 are going to just do that bit better. I think the team I have in 6th, which you'll see in a second, will just edge 6th over Everton this season. Now on to 6th place, I do have Arsenal. I know this is going to annoy so many Arsenal fans, because you have bought in Lacazette, who I do rate. I think he's a very good striker, but I feel like he just needs a season just to gel a little bit with the team, gel to the Premier League. I think he might hit about 13, 14 goals for you, but I think maybe give it another season and he'll be hitting 20 plus goals, and that's when I think you'll be challenging up there. But this season, I just don't see it. You have brought in that defender, I'm not going to say his name because I can't say it and I'll murder it, who I think is very good as well, but I still feel like your defence needs work, and I feel like you will concede a lot of goals again this season. So that is definitely what needs working on, because I just feel like you'll score a lot of goals, but just the goals will be conceded. Now on to 5th, we do have Liverpool. I know some Liverpool fans will watch this, and I know this is going to piss them off. I do apologise, it's just I do feel like you will finish 5th. Dominic Solanke, he's okay. Mohamed Salah, like once again, he's been in the Prem before with Chelsea, and he was very poor. I do think he will prove the haters wrong with you, no doubt about that. But I don't think he'll be a top 4 changer for you. So I feel like you need a striker, a solid striker in my opinion. And today, Sky Sports announced Coutinho did hand in a transfer request. With him, I think he could maybe push you for top 4, but I don't see him being there much longer. Therefore, that is why I have not put you in my top 4. Now on to 4th, I have Chelsea just edging it over Liverpool in my opinion. They've bought in Morata, Caballero, Ruggier, Bakayoko, I can't say his name. And I just feel like Morata, I don't think he's going to start for them. Personally, I think Batshuayi's better. But I feel like Chelsea are going to be very tired this season. Come the end of last season, they were saying about how the players are tired. What are they going to do now with Champions League football? They've got Champions League football as well as Premier League football. I do feel like Chelsea are going to struggle this season, but I feel like they will just about get a top 4 finish. Into third, I have Tottenham. I have them falling from second to third. It's just because they haven't bought anybody in. Like, they've only really lost Kyle Walker, which, okay, he's a decent right back. But they made 50 million for Kyle Walker. Why have they not bought anybody in yet? But I feel like even if they don't bring anybody in, they've still got a solid team to finish top 4. And for me, it's third. In second place, I have Manchester City. They've bought in some big names like Mendy, Danilo, Bernardo Silva, Kyle Walker. But the only problem I have with City is they spent all this money on defenders, but I still think it's not great. I think it's a poor defence, and I think there's still problems at the back, like there is in most teams, but I feel like there's problems at the back, and they'll concede too many goals this season. And in first, and who I think will be crowned champions at the end of this season, is Manchester United. They've bought in Victor Lindelof, Romelu Lukaku, and the Nemanja Matic, which is mental in my opinion why Chelsea sold him. I have no idea why they would sell such an important player like him. But last season, Man United's troubles were scoring against the little teams, which I feel like Romelu Lukaku will provide them goals against those smaller teams. Lindelof, I think, will help strengthen the defence, which we all know in Man United isn't great. It's a bit dodgy, shall we say. But with Nemanja Matic and I presume maybe Fellaini and Herrera or Michael Carrick maybe playing the 2 defensive mids in front, I think that's going to become a solid defence. So that is why I have put Manchester United as my champions. So on screen, you can see the final table. So if you've enjoyed this video, guys, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and also you'll find my Twitter in the description. I'd love to see your guys' predictions, whether you've written it down or put it in your notes on your phone or something. Just send them to me through my DM on Twitter, just so I can have a look and we can have a little chat about it. So until next time, have a good day or night, depends when you're watching this, and see ya.